Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. The Steelers shouldn't get trigger-happy after Cam Sutton's suspension. Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Cam Sutton was suspended 8 games by the NFL for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The former third-round pick turned himself into Florida police after a warrant was issued for his arrest for a domestic violence incident involving his girlfriend. This leaves the Steelers with somewhat of an uncertainty at the nickel cornerback spot, and has led many to speculate on whether or not Pittsburgh will turn to the free agent market to bring in a new face. However, I would say Pittsburgh shouldn't get trigger-happy. Situations like this are why you have guys like Beanie Bishop, Darius Rush, and Josiah Scott, amongst others, on your roster. With training camp just 2 weeks away, let these guys battle it out to see who the Week 1 starter at nickel will be. Bishop and Rush both looked tremendous during the offseason program. It's a wonder as to why and how Bishop went undrafted. He was a consensus All-American and led the nation in passes broken up while picking off 4 passes last season at West Virginia. Plus, Rush was in the system a season ago. While his playing time was limited and he only saw defensive snaps in 2 games, 20 of his 39 snaps were in the slot. So respectfully speaking to Patrick Peterson, who some have said the Steelers should bring back, no thank you. There are younger, faster guys at that spot that the Steelers already have that are looking to prove themselves at the position. Let training camp and preseason determine who gets the starting job. Former NFL QB believes Justin Fields can become top-notch player. Bears made huge mistake keeping number 1 pick. Consider former NFL quarterback Steve Beuerlein all aboard the Justin Fields train. Despite a turbulent Chicago Bears career that saw the team trade him to the Pittsburgh Steelers and select USC QB Caleb Williams number 1 overall, Beuerlein believes it was the Bears who failed Fields. Not the other way around. Sharing his thoughts on the Bullpen with Adam Bull podcast, a Cleveland Brown-centric show, Beuerlein staunchly defended Fields. I think there were a lot of things working against him in Chicago, Beuerlein told the show. Mainly the instability and overall talent around him. Not being given the opportunity to grow in a system with a lot of weapons and a lot of different offensive philosophies that would fit him. Like many highly picked quarterbacks, Fields entered a bad team and organization in flux. Things didn't get much better once he became their pick. As a rookie, the Bears regressed and finished the year 6-11. They had just one true receiver in Darnell Mooney. Head coach Matt Nagy was fired after the season, leading to a coaching staff change and forcing Fields to learn 2 playbooks and systems in as many years. Chicago was routinely criticized for not building up enough offensive talent. They added little at wide receiver ahead of the 2022 offseason, running back a similar lineup around Fields. The moves the front office did make, like trading for Chase Claypool, were disastrous. The Bears bottomed out to 3-13 in 2022 as Fields struggled to complete 60% of his passes with an ugly turnover ratio and high sack rate. Even in those worst moments, Beuerlein believes Fields showed flashes of his ceiling. I saw enough from him, I thought, over the last few years, to believe he's got the ability to be a top-notch, maybe not an elite NFL quarterback. I think Justin Fields has enough special qualities if you can get that confidence level up and get him in an offensive system that knows how to use him. At his best, Fields made electric plays. One of the league's most dangerous open field runners with a big arm, things improved in 2023 as the Bears added the proper talent around him. Chiefly, they acquired DJ Moore as the final piece of the deal that sent the 2023 first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers. Moore responded with a 96-catch, 1,364-yard, 8-touchdown season. After a slow start, during which Fields was limited by a thumb injury, he and the offense improved down the stretch. They won 4 of their final 6, including a 28-13 upset against the Detroit Lions in Week 14. Fields rushed and threw for a touchdown that day. The main critique against Fields has been an inability to play like a traditional quarterback. Stand in the pocket and deliver. Buerlein disagrees with the take. I think he can do it from the pocket at a higher level than most people do. I think he showed that on several occasions over the last several years. One example came during that Lions game. With a 38-yard touchdown to Moore, Fields read the free safety to the closed side spin down as the Lions rotated to a cover one shell. He fired over the top down the left sideline, putting the throw on the money for Moore, who beat the corner. From 2022 to 2023, Fields improved his completion percentage, TD to INT ratio, sack percentage, and adjusted net yards per passing attempt. All numbers that could stand more improvement, but it was progress. While Buerlein's praise is more than most, he took things a step further. Not only does he believe in Fields as a quarterback, but the Bears shouldn't have even drafted Williams. Instead, they should have kept Fields and dealt the number 1 pick to improve the roster around him. My big statement on this whole evolution of what happened with Justin Fields. I thought the Bears made a huge mistake not trading that first pick. I think the Bears, if they trade away that first pick, commit to Fields for 1 more year, what they would have gotten in exchange for that first pick could have solidified that football team in a lot of areas. And prepared and set the table to go on a really nice run either this year or next year. For a blue-chip prospect like Williams, the Bears could have asked for the farm and gotten it. But even Buerlein admits uncertainty over whether Fields will truly become an elite quarterback, something Williams has the chance to be. That makes his case a tougher sell. Still, he thinks the Bears' loss is the Steelers' gain. I just think it was a mistake they let him go. And they decided to use that first pick. I think Pittsburgh is going to benefit from that long term. Justin Fields is expected to begin the year as Russell Wilson's backup, potentially playing in specialty packages. A free agent after the season, his future, like that of the Steelers' quarterback room, is uncertain. Buerlein seems eager for Pittsburgh to give him a chance. Steelers releasing Cam Sutton after suspension? The Pittsburgh Steelers are looking for a replacement at cornerback following an 8-game suspension handed to Cam Sutton for violating the league's code of conduct policy. And with the suspension, one NFL insider believes the team will consider releasing him. Sutton signed with the Steelers after the news of his warrant and legal troubles made the headlines. He was released by the Detroit Lions and ended up back in Pittsburgh on a 1-year, veteran minimum contract. Now, they're without him for 8 regular season games in 2024. With the NFL's decision, Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio believes Pittsburgh could be on the verge of releasing Sutton and starting fresh at slot cornerback. I think of the questions here: when the 8 games is concluded, after the Giants' Monday night game, they may not take him back, Florio said during an interview with 93.7 The Fan. They may decide by then, we're good, we're fine. There's no guaranteed money. They can move on from him if they want to once that suspension expires. The Steelers could look in-house for replacement options in names like Anthony Averett, Beanie Bishop, Josiah Scott, or Arnold Grayland. They could also explore the free agency market with names like Patrick Peterson, Ahkello Witherspoon, or Shandon Sullivan. Those 8 games could be a determining factor in the team's decision, but the Steelers' schedule being vicious in the back half of the season, they may want all the help they can get. Including Sutton. For now, they don't appear to have plans of moving on. They've been handing out more reps across the board at the position during organized team activities and minicamp, and will continue to do so during training camp. As they await the season, they'll look for their Week 1 starters, and likely take any decisions that come after that from there. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Cam Sutton? Leave your opinion in the comments.